Hi, welcome back to our class. Today we are going to start with another new chapter, which is chapter 3, Strategic Attack. When I mention strategic attack, you will be thinking that Sun Tzu will teach you how to attack. Sorry, you are wrong. In this chapter, Sun Tzu has clearly defined that the main purpose he wrote Sun Tzu out of wars is to stop the war, not encourage people to declare to the war. For your information, in ancient time, when you want to declare the war, you need a reason. If your reason was reasonable, the neighbor country will support you or even sometimes help you as well. But if without reason or if it is unacceptable, then the neighbor country might help your enemy to fight with you. So you might ask, if Sun Tzu did not encourage people to fight, then why did he write this book? It is because in ancient time, their diplomatic system was not like us today. They tried to use war to stop the conflict. Most of the time, they try to help and save the citizens out of the conflict and disorder in their country. So, let me give you a short summary on the content of this chapter. First, Sun Tzu came up with a very amazing concept, which is the ideology of perfect strategy. Win without fighting. We will discuss it in detail with some relevant business examples. Then, Sun Tzu also highlighted that the importance of leader. As a leader, you have the responsibility to make sure that your troops are always in the right direction and achieve the objective. If not, Sun Tzu said, a confused and chaotic army provides victory for the enemy. Next, Sun Tzu advocates that the 5 ways to predict the victory. If this advice is followed, the troops can increase their winning possibility. And last, Sun Tzu concluded that the importance of understanding about yourself and your enemy in the battle. First, Sun Tzu believed that when waging war, the most intelligent things to do is to penetrate the enemy's territory without any destruction. Think for it. What will you get at the end of the day by killing all the people and destroying all the buildings? One of the core concepts of Sun Tzu in Sun Tzu Art of War was the ability to subdue the enemy without any battle is the ultimate reflection of the most supreme strategy. Based on this core concept, Sun Tzu proposed the perfect strategy concept. What is the perfect strategy? According to Sun Tzu, he said, in general, when waging war, capturing a whole nation intact, it is a better strategy. To shatter and ruin, it is a weaker option. Capturing a whole division intact, it is a better strategy. Destroying, it is a weaker option. So, this is clear to show that the highest expectations from the Sun Tzu was when you conquer the city or territory, all the resources, human, building, and so on were complete, without any changes nor destruction. Just imagine, after you conquer a city, you notice the city was a total loss. Is that the purpose you conquer the city? Will you be satisfied? For example, in year 1811, when Russian King Alexander refused the coalition with France, the relationship between both countries became critical. In the end, Napoleon led around 450,000 troops to attack Russia. The brilliant King Alexander used the withdrawn strategy. They didn't fight with Napoleon's troops face to face. When Napoleon entered Moscow, the capital of Russia, he assumed its foe would end the war and Alexander would negotiate peace. However, when they stepped in the city, Moscow was burned and turned into an empty city. Without men, without resources, without any supplies, a lot of the troops died. During that period was winter season. After 5 weeks, Napoleon and his army left. His army walked through snow up to their knees, and nearly 10,000 men and horses forced to death that night. The French suffered greatly in the course of ruinous retreat, including the harshness of the Russian winter. At the beginning, there were 450,000 frontline troops, but in the end, there were lesser than 40,000 troops who arrived the front. Was it worth it? So many people had been sacrificed, and yet they returned with nothing. So, from this case, we notice that the importance of perfect and complete concept in the battle. So, now let's see from the business point of view. We always say that before you entering to any business market, you need to do research. You need to understand the needs and interests of the local people. In addition, you should understand their culture and background as well. What is the purpose? Because you have to make sure that after you invest the money, you won't waste it. It is just minimizing your loss while maximizing your profit. As a perfect strategy, both sides can get benefits and exist win-win situation in the end of the day. For example, McDonald's. McDonald's made an entry into the Indian market at a very appropriate time as soon as the Indian government opened up its market to the global brands in year 1996 by forming two 50/50 joint ventures. One with Hardcastle Restaurant Private Limited in Western India and another with Connaught Plaza Restaurant Private Limited in Northern India, with the first outlet opening in Mumbai. True, McDonald's has got clearance from the Foreign Investment Promotion Board (FIPB) in 1991 itself, but it made the final entry in year 1996, which clearly suggested that company was not going to be caught unprepared in the market. McDonald's took a long time to study the market that is so diverse in terms of geographical makeup and consumer diversity, as well as in the variety food items the Indian had. Now, we see the initial blunders of McDonald's. When McDonald's made entry into the Indian markets, he faced several challenges which it needed to manage so that it could be successful in such a diverse market. They entered with price points that were too high for the Indian consumers to be affordable. Few other challenges included majority of the Indian population was vegetarians, and even in non-vegetarian category, the people do not eat beef, which was an important component of McDonald's menu worldwide, especially for their signature burger, Big Mac. The next challenge, the people in India worship cows as motherly figures, and it had to face a lot of resistance in the Indian market with political parties like Shiv Sena, making demands for the company to leave the Indian market for using beef in preparation of its French fries in US market. But McDonald's clarified the situation by presenting the true facts that through its use beef in preparation of French fries in US market, it had never used it as a component for making French fries for Indian market. In addition to all this, McDonald's faced competition from a lot of local food retailers who had been in the market for years and had an edge over McDonald's in terms of prices and knowledge of the local tastes. How did McDonald's solve all these challenges? To address all issues stated above as well as the price sensitivity of Indian consumers, first of all, McDonald's introduced the value meal in its menu, making it affordable for Indian masses. To make sure that the company succeeded in the Indian market, it followed the approach of being global brand. Under this approach, it segregated the kitchen area and cooks for the vegetarian and non-vegetarian menus, as Indian in some of areas did not even like to have the vegetarian food if it is touched by some non-vegetarian food items. They have Indianized their menu by adding aloo tikki, McSpicy, and special range cheese burgers. To cater the price sensitive of consumers, they launched the Happy Price menu, along with the affordable prices also focused on the family fun element. The pricing strategy used by the McDonald's was value-based, with the price point even at entry level reaching the level of ₹20. This point was beautifully conveyed through the advertisement campaign. They also used open kitchen system where the customers could see with their own eyes the level of hygiene and safety condition in the kitchen for the food preparations and other servings items, which was not usually followed by the local restaurant and it was competing with. By ensuring that it catered to the local tastes and preferences by changing its marketing mix for the Indian consumers, the brand has been very successful in the Indian market. Now, McDonald's plans to open the first vegetarian McDonald's restaurant in India. So, if you really did a complete research to understand the market before you enter, then you can conquer the market easily. At the same time, your business will get very good responses from the consumers because you are welcome to the market. This is what Sun Tzu said. To fight 100 battles and to win 100 victories is not a reflection of the most supreme strategies. How to realize the supreme strategies? And what is the meaning of supreme strategies? Sun Tzu said, you fight for 100 battles, you strike and win at all the battles, but they were not the supreme strategies because the core concept was to win without fighting and try to reduce the sacrificing of both troops. So, he said, the ability to subdue the enemy without any battles is the ultimate reflection of the most supreme strategies. Sun Tzu provides the suggestions when fighting with the enemy. First, he said, the most supreme strategy is to attack the plans and strategy of the enemy. Sun Tzu said, if possible, when fighting with the enemy, use the strategies to defeat them. The main purpose was to reduce the sacrificing of the people. In business case, Xiaomi provides a great example. Xiaomi is a privately owned Chinese electronics company located in Beijing, China, which was founded by Lei Jun in 2011. As the young player in this market, Lei Jun and his teams use different types of strategies to penetrate and introduce their products. Just in 3 years, in year 2014, Xiaomi had overtaken Samsung and became the top smartphone vendor in China. Amazing, right? One of the success strategy was the pricing strategy. Lei Jun said, a phone worth $300 and sold for $300. Many people wondered how he can manage to use such high quality items to produce a product which is at such low price points, which is claimed to be just above cost. Now, let us see what Xiaomi did and how it used 4 Ps in marketing to get success. First, product. Competing only on price was not what Xiaomi has chosen as their core strategy. Surely, their phones and tablets are cheaper than Apple's and Samsung's, but by far, not the cheapest one in the market. There are cheaper smartphones that float in China. However, all of them have a major flaw: poor quality. Essentially, those devices are reverse engineered versions of Samsung models built from cheaper materials. By coming out with a good quality phone at lower price range was the key strategic move that put Xiaomi firmly on the map. The phone has a robust case, high quality screen and a reasonable battery. It doesn't break easily, unlike cheaper copycats that start having issues after just a few months of usage. By building its own Android-based OS called MIU, Xiaomi phones got a new exciting features which is not found on standard Android devices, as well as plenty of customization options. Second, price. Xiaomi has also realized that selling cheaper phones near their actual cost was not a suitable long-term strategy. So they decided to go with the Amazon models, just to cover the cost of the devices and make money from selling content. Although Xiaomi is often compared to Apple, especially considering the fact that their founder, Lei Jun, resembles Steve Jobs in his style and charisma, it's clear that Xiaomi's true inspiration comes from Amazon. Also, Xiaomi mostly sells online, which further reduces the cost of sales and overheads related to brick and mortar stores or dealing with distributors and retailers. Third place. Although there are rumors of Xiaomi's inevitable going to North America and European markets, the company seems to stay focused on China with 97% of the shipment locally. It has been mentioned that their next target will be in Southeast Asia and most likely other BRIC countries. Recently, ex-Google executive Hugo Barra, who himself hails from Brazil, has become new Xiaomi's international face. It seems that this company is not in a rush to move on to more developed markets, which dominated by Apple and Samsung. It prefers to stay focused in its home base, where the market is still booming. Perhaps potential IP-related trouble stemming from frequently accusations of possible infringement also play a role in choosing to stay away from US and EU for now. Fourth, promotion, the power of word of mouth. First of all, early on, they have pioneering fresh start sales which were done with very little or no advertising at all. Fresh sales basically means selling limited quantities during limited periods. They always create anticipations and urgency, great factors to win consumer minds and hearts. Needless to say, the unit was sold very quickly and talked over by a lot of users all over China's vibrant social media. Word of mouth marketing worked very well for Xiaomi, and they continue to take full advantage of it. Fifth, promotion, active use of social media. Xiaomi has also managed to harness the power of social media by not only broadcasting their message and announcement, but by actively engaging with their consumers. Engineers are routinely encouraged to speak directly to their consumers and use gathered feedback to refine software. 6. Promotion, dedicated brand advocates. Through its active role in social media, Xiaomi has also succeeded in building a dedicated fan base. Those Mi fans are very active in social media, in some ways similar to those hardcore Apple advocates that we are all familiar with. Mi fans are always present at Xiaomi's product launches, where they are known for loud cheering and applauding. Understand? Without direct fighting, but can defeat the enemy, strategies are important. Next, Sun Tzu said that if you lack of the ideas and strategies to defeat your enemy, you can use next the base strategy, which is to attack the enemy's relationship and alliances with other nations. So, Sun Tzu highlighted that before you launch an attack, you might use this strategy, which is cut off their alliances with their neighbor's country. So, when they are isolated, sometimes they will declare surrender. In business circumstances also like that. When you cut off your competitors' resources and relationship, they will move out from the market easily. Sun Tzu continued to advocate that if you can't cut off the enemy's relationship and alliances, there is no choice. The next base strategy is to attack the army, face-to-face attack. However, Sun Tzu also provided 5 deployment strategies for direct attacking. First, when outnumbering the enemy 10 to 1, surround him. When outnumbering the enemy 5 to 1, attack him. When outnumbering the enemy 2 to 1, divide him. When comparable in numbers to those of the enemy, it is possible to engage him. When lesser in numbers to the enemy, be capable of escaping, run away. But the worst strategies of all is to attack the walled cities. Sun Tzu says, when attacking the walled city, both sides will be sacrificing a lot of people, injured or dead. So he deems that, if possible, don't attack the walled city. Okay, that's all for today. We will continue this chapter in the next class. Thanks, see you.